Okay, here are seeds that everyone, everywhere should be starting indoors today, no matter where you live. So even if you're in a really hot climate and you are in the middle of summer, you can start these indoors. And if you're in a really cold place, you can also start these indoors. So this is for all of us, and it is a way to grow something new to provide for your kitchen from your garden, and to do it in one of the coolest ways, and that is growing it from seed all the way till plant. A lot of these seeds, they are going to take quite a while to germinate and to grow into a plant that's big enough to get into the garden. And so you need to start it now so you have plenty of time. That's what's like the biggest thing we're working against in the garden is time, making sure that we get things started fast enough so that we don't find ourselves when it's time to put things into the garden having to go to the plant shop and buy them because we forgot. So consider yourself warned and prepared after you watch this video because these are a few plants that all of us can start from seed. All of us can grow, even if you're growing in a very small space, even if you're just growing in containers. These are things that all of us can grow and plant, and all of us will use. All these things you're going to use this year, I promise, in the kitchen, even if you don't like vegetables, okay? So even if you just don't like most green things, you'll like these green things for the way they're used. So all I've done right now is filled up this tray. I'm going to plant all these seeds that are the ones you should be starting right now. I'm going to plant all of them in this one tray and grow them all together. They're all going to be a little different pace, but that's okay. I'll be able to pop the ones out that need to go, into the garden whenever it's time. So I filled all these up with this seed starting mix. I had this, I set the seed starting mix up a couple hours ago. So it's nice and moistened and ready to be a good medium for the seeds we're going to plant. All right, so some of these are at varying degrees of fullness. But I think all of them are full enough. Okay, so my hands are kind of dirty. We're going to get started. The very first seed that you should be planting right now is rosemary. Rosemary becomes a perennial. That means it will last for years in the garden. It is an herb that you don't have to eat if you don't want to, but it adds so much flavor to dishes, to soups, to stews, and it's just a beautiful plant and a fragrant plant, even if you just want to put it into what do you call it, arrangement or something. All right, so rosemary is a very tiny seed, and so they even put in a little container inside the seed packet. I'm just going to drop a few in these back cells. I try not to overplant because it is a pain to thin out. So I'm going to put the rest back into that package just in case these don't germinate or, something else happens. I made a little tag that says rosemary. I'm going to slide it right in so I know this is the rosemary row. The second plant that you should be starting from seed right now is oregano. I'm doing true Greek oregano. If you like pizza or pasta or tacos, oregano is in almost everything, and it is so prolific in the garden. So you should definitely be growing some, but you need to start it ahead of time so that it has plenty of time to be ready to harvest when spring comes. So again, they're very, very tiny seeds. I'm going to empty, they're literally salt is basically bigger than oregano. So I am just going to sprinkle these on here. I did this last year and I did end up overplanting, but I did end up with a ton of oregano. So I'm going to close this up, slide it back into this package so that I have more to plant later. And I already made myself a little tag that says oregano. That's going right in there. The next one that you need to be starting indoors right now is broadleaf sage. Sage is such a great smell. I love adding it to dishes, but you can also make those cool sage sticks, like burning sage sticks where you can, fill your house with the smell of sage. Once again, the seeds are so tiny, they had to put this tiny little package in here too. Sage seeds are bigger though than oregano, thank goodness. And I'm just gonna drop one into each cell, just like that. Put the rest back in, close it up, and put my label on it, and I'm ready to go to the next one. So there's some sage. Boom. Okay, now we're going to do the next one that you got to start right now, and that is thyme. Thyme is same family, very similar growing habit. So it's great to grow all these from seed right next to one another. And the seeds are, you guessed it, also very tiny. They're more like the oregano seeds. They didn't put them in a little separate container though. So we're just gonna slide them out on our fingers there, and I'm just going to sprinkle them onto the cells. Just like that. Close it up so it does not spill, and put a label on it. All right, we're almost halfway done. The next one that we're going to do is marjoram. So marjoram is the same plant family as thyme and oregano and sage and rosemary. I'm gonna open this up, and I'm going to get the seeds out. They're gonna be tiny because they're all the same family. I'm gonna just sprinkle these right here, just like that. Put the extra in, close it up, and I have a label for that one too. All right, I had one more I was gonna do of the same family, and that is winter savory. You don't have to do this one. This is kind of a bonus. Well, do I wanna do this? I take it back. I'm gonna save this for later. This is not a must do. I don't know if you guys always have winter savory in your dishes, and it's okay, because I don't either. So the next one we're gonna do is chives. This is a totally different family. This is from the onion family, the amaryllis plant family. But chives are a must-have in your garden. They're a perfect plant to plant alongside your greens, your kales, to protect it from pests in the winter or the early spring. So this is something you definitely want to have growing already from seed indoors, so you're ready to move it out. It is frost tolerant, so it will be able to grow and thrive really early in the season. So I'm going to label this with one of our cute little labels, put this in here. It says chives, and the last three are all in the same family together: dill, parsley, and cilantro. They're all in the carrot plant family. They all like cool season weather, and they all go to seed pretty quickly. So if you like dill, cilantro, and parsley, you want to have a lot on hand, and you want to keep planting it all season. So it's great to start it indoors and get a jump on the season, so that you're ready to put it out in the garden as soon as the soil can be worked. These are frost tolerant, so you don't have to wait until after your frost date to move these out into the garden. So there's my dill. Now I'm gonna do parsley. I'm doing curled parsley, not flat leaf. I do like flat leaf, but parsley, the curled leaf, I like more for salads, and it's also, I found, a little bit more frost tolerant. So the seeds are really tiny. The dill seeds are really nice to plant because they're a little bit bigger. Trying to put one per cell. And then the last one, oh, I gotta label it, parsley. And then the last one that I'm going to plant out is dill. And that is in this, no, not dill, cilantro. And that's in the same plant family as parsley and cilantro. It loves the cool season and is a good one to have for plants. Otherwise, I find myself heading to the store and having to buy it by plant instead of having my own seeds, which is always a big bummer. So I'm actually putting like 2 in here, but I probably should only put 1. All right, that is it. So I'm gonna add my label, and these are the plants that you should definitely be starting now. If you don't have these plants growing in your garden, this is the time to start all of these herbs from seed. I'm now just going to go through and just lightly pat down. All those seeds are so tiny, they do not need to be buried. They really only need to just make sure I have really nice soil contact with them, and then they should start to germinate. I'm going to make sure that the bottom of these seed trays stays watered. And then as soon as I start to see a sign of growth, I'm going to put these under lights. And in 4 to 6 weeks, I should have plants that I can move out into the garden, even before the threat of frost has passed. So I hope this inspires you to order your seeds, to pull out your seed starting mix, and to get some plants started indoors right away, right now. I cannot wait to see the plants you grow alongside me and the amazing garden that we have together this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.